Let's see here. Ooh. Oh my. What is cracking, everybody? It's Mega Pie Man here, and we'll take a quick peek at Groove City, or Electronic Super Joy Groove City, depending upon what you want to call it. The Steam store has it labeled as just Groove City, but this game is the mini-sequel, as it's stated, to Electronic Super Joy, which was a platform game that released late last year, I believe. It still has the same great kind of music behind it, the same sort of 8-bit silhouette sort of look to it, so it's definitely very similar in the game, and it doesn't really do a whole lot to try to be different from the original Electronic Super Joy. I totally messed that up. Great. Now, depending upon who you are, and depending upon your feelings on the original Electronic Super Joy, that will be either good or bad. You would think that something that's supposed to be a sequel to a game would try to be a little bit different, but from so far what I've seen, a majority of the... I hate those things. A majority of the stuff has been very similar or exactly the same to the kind of things that you would see in the original Electronic Super Joy game. It doesn't really do much or anything to try to change it. The only thing that is different is that in the original Electronic Super Joy game, you actually had a stomp feature where while you were jumping in the air, you could actually stomp down on the ground in order to do damage to enemies and missiles and the like. In this game, they have actually removed that. So the only thing you can do in this particular version, in Groove City, you can just jump and move. There's no stomping involved or anything like that. There's no way you can attack to defeat your enemies or anything like that. You just have to work around trying to figure out how to get around every single enemy and dodging. Dodging is huge. Dodging is like 90% of what you'll be doing in Groove City. That same missile is killing me every single time. That is fantastic. Loving it. Now, this game does have a little bit of a story. The first game had a bit of a story, but not much. It involved the Pope and a bunch of other weird crap. This story also has the Pope involved as well, but the main story is that there is a giant robot stripper whose laser nipples were stolen. And we have to go and get them back because she was a little bit upset and decided to destroy Groove City, in the process of her being upset. I almost had that! Darn you, game. Darn it. if you can't tell, this game is still just quite as difficult as the original Electronic Super Joy. The original Electronic Super Joy was not an easy game. It was still pretty fair, but it was not that easy. This one is exactly the same. So, if you liked the original Electronic Super Joy game, you will probably enjoy Groove City quite a bit, considering it is extremely similar and it does a lot of the things the same way. It doesn't really try to mess with the formula in any way outside of a bit of a story. I gotta go charge the Pope signal. Yeah, that's the thing. This game is available for $5.99 on Steam, so it is really kinda cheap. And considering that, I believe it's a bit cheaper than the original Electronic Super Joy as well, but it is shorter. There are only 15 levels in this version of the game. If I go back, let's go to leave here quickly. And then we will get to this section. The only section of the game that has color. You'd think when I first started playing this, the fact that it has color, the whole game would be like this, but no, the entire game is still a silhouette. And it is the quest for the laser nipples. I will never get used to saying laser nipples. Ever. But if I press down on the door, you will see that there are 13 main levels right here, and there are also some secret levels that I've heard about that are in the game, and lots of secrets that you can unlock and get. Currently, I've made it to about 6. Hasn't taken me a super long time, about a bit over an hour and a half. It's about level 6 because, you know, I'm not really super fantastic at platformers. But let's just do this level, shall we? Yes, we'll do that one. And if you're really good at platformers, if you were decent at the original Electronic Super Joy, then it probably won't take you a ton of time to get through the levels. The one thing I can say about the levels is that they do reuse a lot of the same things. These particular creatures have been used quite a bit in Groove City, and I can only expect to see more of them. They're used in almost every single... Oh my freaking goodness, you have got to be kidding me. They're used in just about every single level, and they are a pain to deal with. The main thing about them is that they always move in the direction that they're facing, and they don't move until they see you. So if I can just... there's no way I'm going to be able to make that. Jump before I hit the ground. I swear, the first time I did this, I actually did it a little bit easier. But then, of course, I was more in the groove, I guess you could say, because I've been playing it more. But, you know, you got the same good platforming back, the same high amount of challenge. Now I remember this part. This part sucks. And you also have the same pretty good music back. The original Electronic Super Joy had a relatively decent soundtrack. I wasn't a big fan of the entire soundtrack, but it did have some good songs in it. And this one, the soundtrack's even better. I can definitely say that I would listen to some of these tunes by myself outside of the actual game. No! Got it! Yes! I actually got it. I thought I didn't get the checkpoint. Holy freaking crap. Okay. This is the thing. I think that actually might be a secret down there. That guy is getting faster. Oh my goodness, they're keeping their speed. They're keeping their speed. He gets faster. The faster he goes across, the more he goes across, keeps the speed. I am the best! I am amazing! You will love me. I am the best player of Electronic Super Joy you have ever seen in your entire existence of life. Thank you. I don't know. Yeah, but this game, it's got a lot of good challenge. It's got really, really good controls. That was one of the things, the key is low jumps. Thank you. That was one of the things that the original Electronic Super Joy had that made it a really good platformer. It wasn't that it was necessarily hard or unfair. It was the fact that it was, oh my goodness, that's going fast. It was just the fact that it was very, very fair. When you come to hard platformers and difficult platformers, you don't see a lot of them that are all that fair. A lot of times when someone makes a difficult platformer, they'll make a game that's like, I want to be the guy. And they'll try to make it as hard as possible, but they'll do so by making it very unpredictable and almost impossible to play through. I got the checkpoint. That's all that matters. That is all that freaking matters. But a game like Electronic Super Joy, it is still both difficult as well as being very, very fair. And there hasn't been any sections I've come across so far where I don't feel like I can't do it. Every section I've gotten to at this point in Groove City, I keep calling it just Electronic Super Joy, but it's actually Groove City. In Groove City, I still feel like I can do it. I still feel like that it is possible for me to eventually get through that section, even if I die on it multiple times. That's gonna suck. And there have been some very difficult sections for that to be a thing. A lot of games, like even when you get to a game like Super Meat Boy, which it is still fair, it's still a very fair game, that there are just sections in it that I look at that, I'm like, how? Just how? How is that possible? That is never going to happen. There's no way in the world I will ever get through that section of the game. Haven't really seen that with Groove City. Every section just feels like it's going to take time for you to learn it. It's going to take time for you to actually get the timing down so you don't keep jumping into the same pit over and over and over again like I'm doing. But it is still very possible, and that's the main thing about Groove City. That's what I feel that makes Groove City such a good game and such a interesting game to anyone who likes platformers. It's cheap, it's very, very fair, and it's got some really good soundtrack. So definitely check it out. It is now available on Steam for $4.99. It was developed by Michael Todd Games and published by Yaeser Media Group LLC, which I believe are the same guys who did the original Electronic Super Joy. So it's by the same guys. If you enjoyed the original Electronic Super Joy, then you will definitely like what you see here in Groove City. The only thing that's really changed is that you don't have a smash. You don't have the function to smash the ground anymore at all. So I guess if you enjoyed that in the other game, then it's going to be a shame that it's not in this one. But if you didn't enjoy that, or if you didn't really care too much about it, then it's not going to bother you too much. And so far, even though, yes, there have been many sections where I could say that being able to smash and destroy my enemies would have been very helpful, there's nothing that I could say that it would be needed, of course. Nothing that I've seen I would specifically need to be able to smash any of my opponents or any of my enemies in order to get through the areas, considering that it's not in the game. So the fact that it's not in the game doesn't really matter, since the game is, of course, designed for it to not be there. It doesn't matter that it's not there. Although it would have been very helpful in an area like this, so I could kill these freaking spikes, or in an earlier area with those creatures that run back and forth with platforms to kill those things. That would have been helpful. But it would have been helpful, but the fact that it's not there is not a deal breaker. Okay. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is insane. This is absolute insanity. I am going to try to not die. Thank you guys for watching this quick peek at Groove City. You can pick it up on Steam for $4.99, developed by Michael Todd Games, published by Yaeser what was that? Yazar Media Group LLC. It's cheap, it's good, and if you like the original, you will definitely enjoy this one. Thank you guys for watching. I've been Mega Pie Man, and I will talk to you guys later. Alright, be the Super Joy. Be the Super Joy. We can do it, we can do it, we can do it, we can do it, we can do it. Go, go, go. No! This is so close. So close. Games can figure out what's going on. I can also kill the guys who are piloting all the robots if I want to. There's no real reason to do that, just outside of, hey, you want to shoot those guys? You can do it. Now, the really interesting thing that I like about this game is that there are a lot of games... Oh, we got a boss fight. It's Starscream! It's freaking Starscream! Holy crap, I didn't realize we were going to be fighting some...